Sofia. The thing is, this morning I saw a very classic example of people with similar habits, have similar outcomes, and not only this, financially, relationship wise, but also the way you start looking. And I talk about people who are standing outside those. There are multiple buildings over here. Those, I think, though, those people do customer service or something. I talked once with a person that actually works between those people, but you can see it on the break. They're all outside, sucking on vapes, sucking on cigarettes, pretty much all slouching around. And the thing is, you know, and this is not about looking down on them, but I always speak to the people who want to do a little bit different, right? A little bit outside the normality. But also, I say this because once you start, I think at one point, let's say normal people, when they hang around with each other, they don't have this let's say this spark in their brain anymore, especially when it goes like this: school, job, mortgage, woman, divorce, woman, child, dead. And it sounds very disrespectful, but if you watch my content, I'm all about helping people, to set themselves free, claim their freedom, and not only this, also really live wherever the fuck you want, so you don't have to ask your master, for a holiday. Dear master, can I go on a holiday? And when I also think about this, again, there's no disrespectful talk, but you have to start saying things up loud, right? What am I doing? What am I doing? I am asking another adult so I can go outside the country to make pictures of a pizza with my spouse or with whoever. Or all of a sudden you go totally nuts and you bang as many. What do you want to bang? So anyway, people with similar habits have in general similar outcomes. Those people go home after probably 8 hours or 10 hours. And I also saw one advertisement about this. I'm in Sofia, Bulgaria, that people from other countries, also from Holland, I saw people speaking in Dutch. But and this is the thing when it's about customer service. I think they do customer service over there. And the thing is about customer service, mamma mia, not to talk bad about big companies, but one of the domain registers that I'm using for over decades, their customer server is service. I have to tell those people what to do, so I'm not contacting those anymore, but before I did. And the thing is, when you have your customer service people, they provide a service. Of course, they are just cattle, for the people who selling the customer service packets and that kind of stuff. But how low are you actually then on the somebody says hi, Idor Gio. Hi, Idor. I cannot pronounce it, sorry. The thing is, when you're out, when I would work, let's say at a normal job, I'm 47, I had only a few normal tiny jobs. And when I was 11, I started selling door to door. Now I'm 47, now doing everything from the phone, operate in multiple countries, and whatever the fuck I want to do, I do. But this is the thing, I think it's a sad thing. I was just looking at those people sucking on vapes, and next to it is a big pizza place, and the big pizza place. What am I doing now? I'm just I'm sharing one thing that I saw this morning, and because I help a lot of people, to put the fire in their ass. But this morning I saw those people in front of the building where they have this customer service thing going on. Tons of people, and they have all the same behavior. And if people are watching this video now or later, ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing? With who am I hanging around? And do I have the same habits? I mentioned this event multiple times. I never swim between, let's say, people, with the same scales, same, experiences. I'm always going extreme, but this is not to brag, but there's a reason. I need to stay ahead of the herd. For me, I'm operating in multiple countries. I'm dealing with ages from 15 up to 60 plus. So and also in multiple industries. But that's me. But that's why I'm also showing the things that I'm doing. And then, by the way, the three case studies, they are available within 7 days on my website, so people can see, and they can be executed by a 12-year-old if they want. I started selling door to door, so I always say 12 years old, because people who are 18, you haven't done anything, then it's time to get off your lazy ass. Put up the middle finger to the school and say ciao for now, because school, and it's not to talk down on school. School was a great networking place, maybe for some people. What else was happening over there? I remember one school teacher, a total idiot. He explained me how to conduct businesses. Everything that he said, and I went through it in my mind. Nothing was applicable along the way. Nothing what he said, took from a book. But also, when you think about it, his habits, smoking also in the break, coming on a bicycle, because I had first 30 years in Holland, I came on a bike, sandals. Now, yeah, that guy is gonna tell you about business. The thing is, it's not always how they look like, but also their behavior. Slouching, smoking cigarettes. That is all fun. But it's not the way. And it is the same with those customer service people. They're flying in with bunch of people, here and there some benefits, health benefits. Anifa Torcheva or Topcheva. That is also something. I'm over here in Bulgaria, right? And I learned the first two. That was 17 years ago when I came for the first time to Bulgaria. I straight away learned in 2 weeks the Cyrillic thing. So many times when people type normal Latin letters, I always confuse them. Yeah, maybe you need to read it, like Torcheva, Topcheva. Anyway, totally irrelevant. So I keep this live stream very short. But just ask yourself, look around when you hang around with the people. What the hell are we talking about? What are we consuming? And what are we doing with our lives? And what are we going to do now? And also ask yourself, when you sit between the people, especially when you're a young person and you hang around with people who play with their fucking phones, well, trust me, get rid of those people instantly, unless you want to keep on doing what you're doing. I never spend time with people who sit around with me with playing with their phones. Simply a level of disrespect. But yeah, like I said, I live a pretty extreme life. The thing is, I'm 47, and with the people I sit, there's quality people. We don't play with the phones. But you have to start small somewhere, right? If people say when they on the job said hi, or did I already say it? I don't know. But people who thinking about to give the middle finger to their boss, get rid of those habits. Just get rid of habits. Don't listen to the bullshit talk about the news, the football, I don't know what, entertainment for the masses. It's all for the masses to keep you where you are. See, again, I live a very extreme. I don't do anything what is entertainment for the masses. I don't enjoy or participate in traditions, but it has also multiple reasons. But the thing is, that's me. That's why I surf till the day I'm dead. And I'm obsessed with it. And when I see those people, slouching around the building where they work, eating pizza, sucking on vapes, yikes. I don't know what is more destructive, doing that on a daily basis. You get your mind totally numb, listening constantly to complaints. That's also another thing, right? When you're in customer service, you go totally freakishly nuts. You also constantly listen to negative things, because nobody is happy if you work in customer service. I never did stuff like that, but there is no, when people reach out to a customer service, it's never a happy thing, right? Hey, how are you doing? I'm over here in the pool. No, it's always there's something wrong. So, and then on top of that, you fill yourself up with pizzas, sucking on vapes. I was looking at one guy, and I'm never looking at people, with disrespect. I'm always, very curious, what is going on. A guy, again, no disrespect, very overweighted, sucking on a huge vape thing, and I think, phew, mamma mia, if I would suck on that thing for let's say, I don't know, for 1 hour, I don't know. I did vape. I had a period I wanted to test it, and it was very addictive. And the thing is, what I did, I visited one factory where they produce the vape oil. Now, I was instantly cured. The moment that I went to that factory over there, oil, only chemicals, everywhere. How do you say this? For 10 liters, 50 liters, barrels of chemicals. And that's what you suck into your body. And the thing is, when it's about vaping, I noticed this because I'm doing a lot of rounds. If you watch my stuff, I'm doing a lot of rounds. It doesn't destruct you as cigarettes, so it is a very sneaky killer. Vapes are a very sneaky killer, and it tastes also extremely good. I admit it. I did it for 30 days because it was relatively new, and I thought, let's suck on it. Phew, I can imagine that those people are totally addicted to it. But this morning, this guy, I think he also carries around with extra battery packs. Well, again, if you're a guy, or a girl, huge vape thing, and you need to walk around with extra batteries, I think you should ask yourself, what am I doing over here? Is it something beneficial? Carrying around with batteries for getting, probably you're gonna get very sick along the way. Of course, nothing is proven, but I don't think it's a healthy thing. And again, I went to the factory, I saw it. Oh, mamma mia, that is. I also stopped instantly. It's better to smoke a package of cigarettes. I did also smoke cigarettes for 8 months, every single day. Bam, bam, bam. Now I don't anymore. But anyway, just a quick life. I'm now next to Paul, Sofia. I need to wait for somebody, and I thought, let's just put something in somebody's brain. Maybe one person on this planet thinks, hey, let's start asking questions. Let's start asking questions to people who are next to me. Who is fucking loyal, who would actually stand the rain with me. I had one short, a few shorts ago, YouTube shorts ago, and I talked about one thing, and it's how to filter people. But somebody commented something, and I understood. Yeah, the things that I'm saying is not applicable or necessary for normal people. See, I am, operating in multiple countries, multiple industries, so I need to keep my circle clean. But I do believe if you're also just a normal person, you want to keep your life clean, I think, from idiots. People who come with all bad negative behavior, you want to get rid of those. At least that's what I think. Because no matter what, if I went last year one time in the subway here in Sofia, Bulgaria, around the time that people go to the freaking work, there was not one single person smiling. Everybody was, the life was out of their eyes. Like you go to the zoo, life is gone. There is no spark in the eyes anymore. There's no interaction with each other. And that's a sad thing. And in my case, see, I'm obsessed with trying to get people, to get their freedom, and tons of people do get their freedom, but of course it requires work. The thing is, I'm doing everything from the phone, but when I see those people in the subway with the phone in their hand, I think you got the key to your own freedom. And freedom is also, and I understand is also, freedom is also something what a lot of people do not understand, because if you never had freedom, you went to school, work, and pretty much die as soon as possible, and then consume for maybe a decade the medical stuff that you need, because you eat pizzas and burgers and smoke cigarettes. That's very detrimental to your health. The thing is, that's a sad thing, and I don't believe that people are made for this. The guy upstairs, in case you're religious, the guy upstairs didn't say, hey, let's put this person on this planet so he can listen to his master. I don't believe that. And And if it's true, maybe you say something about it. Because when I sit in the subway, I've sat in the subway last year one time, and I was looking those people in the eyes, and I think, wow, sad, sad, sad. But yeah, that's what I see. I'm just an idiot who talks about this kind of stuff, and just I am obsessed with the communication and just human behavior, and also how they interact with each other. I'm always looking, and also when it's about my own circle, my trusted circle. It's always I cannot wait for the next one. Anyway, I just thought to drop this. Just start asking questions. What are you doing? Can it be optimized? See, I'm optimizing every single fraction of my and the processes in my life. So ask yourself, very simple thing. Even if it's about your shoes, you're coming home, you're cleaning them. If I come home or in my Airbnb on a hotel, my shoes, I clean them. I'm a disciplined idiot. But the thing is, step by step, just ask yourself, how much I appreciate what I'm doing or what I have, and also do I show a little bit gratitude for the family. A lot of people do have families, but they don't. Sometimes I look at them and see people like me. We never had those things. So I admire people when they do have, but most people do not really, are not very grateful for what they actually have. Or yeah, because if you would be constantly very grateful, for example, you have your parents and they're still alive, and you would sit next to them. For example, I never knew my real parents, and I was adopted. But the thing is, those people died long, more than 16 or 17 years ago. The thing is, and when I would talk now with younger people, which I do a lot, I always say, when you can spend time with your parents on the table, put down your phone, talk with them, bring some value to the table, just speak with them. And then the thing is, a lot of people would say, yeah, but what we're gonna say, just figure out, become more valuable, do something with your life, get rid of school, get rid of your job, and start doing something with your life. So there's always something to talk about, and get genuinely interested in other people. Engage with the world. Just say hello to the people in the supermarket. Be grateful that they actually give you the plastic bag. Very tiny things make your life very interesting. For me, I'm in Sofia, Bulgaria, and I always say, for me, this is Disney World. But of course, I live a life of freedom. But besides that, I don't do outrageous things. You wouldn't see me in the clubs. Not anymore. I'm 47. And not because that I'm too old. I got better things to do. The thing is, if I would go on a binge drinking thing, I can go for 3-4 days and I drink until I'm totally crazy. No problem. I still don't have problems with that, but I don't do it anymore. Maybe once or maybe 2 times per year, then I go totally nuts. And I go with totally nuts, I mean also totally nuts. Anyway, this conversation gets a little bit different. I'm gonna go back. I also need to pee, and because I don't want to live stream in busy places, because I always respect people, their privacy, and I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. Not one of those vloggers, who just puts the camera in people their faces and say these are scammers or whatever, and then run away, or go to and then with this thought I'm gonna stop. Also those vloggers, they come to Bulgaria for 1 week and they say, oh, this is the worst neighborhood. And I would ban those vloggers in the face, because I know for multiple vloggers they went to place there thinking, oh, yeah, I go over there and drink a beer and lay down in the park if I want. So yeah, because if you come somewhere in a country for 7 days and then say this is bad, that's bad, I think that's very disrespectful for the country. But anyway, it's close. It's also incredibly windy now. It's incredibly windy. So let's cut it out. Because I'm actually, between you and me, I'm gonna pick up my lenses. I'm wearing lenses, not now, because I had to wait a little bit longer. Totally irrelevant information. Yes, I know. But anyway, we're going in.